Students from Sherwood, Parkdale, and Lake Braddock meet today on It's Academic. Hello, everybody. I'm Hillary Howard. Welcome to It's Academic, the world's longest-running TV quiz show, now in its 65th year, produced by Altman Productions and the great WETA.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University, all together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.
Hello again. We are so happy that you have chosen to be with us to watch these amazing students today. And we will begin, teams, as we always do, with a fast start where questions are worth 10 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. And you guys at home, these students don't see what you do on the screens. Ready? Go green. All answers will have something to do with the color green. Comic hero Bruce Banner turns into Braddock.
Hulk.
The Hulk, yes. Greenland is an autonomous territory belonging to Sherwood.
Denmark.
Yeah, you've got it. He led the Green Mountain Boys in our Sherwood.
Ethan Allen.
Ethan Allen is right. The Green Bay Packers are based in this Sherwood.
Wisconsin.
Correct. This green S-initialed plant is a symbol of Ireland, Sherwood.
Shamrock.
Yeah, this African country whose capital is Abuja flies a green and white Parkdale.
Nigeria?
Nigeria's right. The Green Mile is a book by this modern author. Ding, 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 ding. Stephen King. This element, atomic number 5, gives a Sherwood. Answer? 3,
Boron?
2. Yeah, boron. Nice. The main ingredient in guacamole is this Sherwood.
Avocado.
Yeah. This green gem names the city in Sherwood.
Emerald.
Emerald City, yes, in the Wizard of Oz. Wow, what a way to begin. Let's check those scores, everybody. Sherwood, home of the Warriors, 170 points. Parkdale, home of the Panthers, 110 points. And Lake Braddock, home of the Bruins, 110 points. So I told you we've got some fabulous students here today, so let's meet them, beginning with Sherwood, a high school from Montgomery County. Hello, Zeev.
Hi, I'm a senior at Sherwood, and I love watching history documentaries, but I also am really interested in cult documentaries as well.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see you again. Hiya, Catherine.
Hello, I'm also a senior at Sherwood High School, and I'm a pianist. I've played since I was 11.
Lovely. And hiya, Natty.
Hi, I'm Natty. I'm a senior at Sherwood, and I enjoy watching historical movies, specifically like World War II era.
Ah, great. I think I remember that. All right, guys, here are your questions. They are worth 20 points. Nothing off for a wrong answer. Fossil Vera found. You can find 20 points if you find in this phrase what precious metal whose chemical symbol is Ag.
Silver?
Yes. Sensitive, agile, rude. Which one of these words would best describe someone who is nimble?
Agile. Agile?
Yeah. You won't need your ID to fill in the blanks here to name what Greek god of the sea, the counterpart of the Roman Neptune.
Poseidon?
Poseidon's right. James Barrie created the characters Peter Pan and Tinker Toy. No, that would make an English teacher shudder. Please fix it by changing one word.
Yeah. Tinker Bell?
Yeah, Tinker Bell, the sweet Tinker Bell. Oracle, Titan, Nymph. If you want to find out who will win this game, you might ask which of these mythical figures who could foretell the future.
Oracle?
Oracle's right. To bite the dust. Long before this phrase was used in the movies, it appeared in what ancient Homeric epic that preceded the Odyssey?
The Iliad?
Iliad is right. Nice. Sherwood, 290 points. Over to Parkdale High School from Prince George's County. Hello, Isatu. Good to see you.
Hi, I'm a senior at Parkdale, and I really love baking brownies.
Brownies, and you didn't bring us any? Rosa, hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm Rosa, and I'm a senior at Parkdale High School, and I play on my school's tennis team.
Yeah, that's great. Hi, Lorenzo, how are you?
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I'm also a senior at Parkdale High School, and I'm on our school's tech crew for drama clubs, and also like working with the team like everyone else.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to be able to do, like these teams, right? Yes. Okay, here we go, guys. Taste elk soup. You'll taste 20 points if you find in this sentence the name of what strong metallic alloy whose main components are iron and carbon.
Steel?
Steel is right. Untruthful, believable, detailed. If you gave someone a plausible explanation, that explanation could best be described with which of these words?
Believable?
Believable, yeah. Homeland, blank, blank, council. What same word fits in both blanks to name a U.S. cabinet department and an important United Nations council?
Security?
Yes. In the Bible, Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of pepper. No. Can you change one word to make that right?
We would change pepper to salt.
That's it. Cesium, oxygen, xenon. Of these three elements, which one takes its name from the Greek word for stranger and is classified as a noble gas?
Xenon?
Xenon it is. Above anything else, I hate to lose. These words exemplify the determination of what first African-American player in modern-day Major League Baseball?
Jackie Robinson?
Jackie Robinson is correct. Nice job, Parkdale. 230 points. Over to Lake Braddock High School in Fairfax County. Hello, Asher.
Hello, my name is Asher. I'm a junior at Lake Braddock Secondary School. And on Sundays, I volunteer as a Madrahim for my religious school, and I help teach the 4th grade.
Lovely. Ben, hi.
Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a junior at Lake Braddock, and I enjoy solving Rubik's Cubes for fun.
Yeah, how long does it take you?
Consistently, I can do it in under 30 seconds.
All right, good to see you. And how are you, Jacob?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I play tennis for my high school as well. My brothers and my dad plays.
Oh, that's a nice family sport. Yeah. All right, guys, here's your first question. Mombasa or Tangiers? Whatever city you choose, see if you can find the hidden name of what major artery of the body. Answer, guys? In 3, 2, 1, it is the aorta. Oh. Virtuous, handsome, shrewd. It's a compliment to call someone astute because astute is a synonym for which of these words?
Shrewd?
Yes, that's right. This Greek letter fits right into what word for the huge Egyptian statue near the pyramids?
Sphinx.
Yes. Harriet Tubman was a conductor on the Reading Railroad. No, she wasn't. Please fix that by making it correct.
Changed reading to underground.
That's it. Vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D. Which of these three vitamins is most essential to the formation of healthy bones and is often added to milk?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D it is. National honor is national property of the highest value. These are the honorable words of what 5th president associated with the doctrine establishing our foreign policy in the Americas?
Monroe.
You were right. It was James Monroe. Lake Braddock, 210 points. That does it for the mix and match round. Picture Perfect is next. See you in a minute.
In 1961, 9 high school students walked into a TV studio in Washington, D.C. to film the very first episode of It's Academic.
Good evening and welcome to It's Academic, the weekly program on which
Little did they know that over the course of the next 65 years, thousands of high school students would follow them onto the set and into broadcast history.
I think what has kept It's Academic on the air for so long, you had strong support from the schools, and we've had a strong community support.
There aren't a ton of outlets to be competitive in an academic setting.
It teaches composure, knowledge, wisdom.
And it's like an engaging, fun quiz show, but it also teaches you so much about the world in so many different facets.
Today, It's Academic is celebrating 65 years and is the world's longest-running TV quiz show. Thank you, students, schools, viewers, and fans. And remember, it's academic.
Welcome back, guys. It's time for the Picture Perfect round. You know how this works. Questions are worth 20 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Tulips like these were brought to Europe from what Turkish? Sherwood?
I was going to say Netherlands.
Answer. 3, 2.
Istanbul.
No, Ottoman Empire is what we were going for. Located off Washington State, these islands share their name with what Puerto Rican capital city? Yeah, Sherwood.
San Juan.
Correct. Choice. The Venus flytrap and other meat-eating plants are described as carnivorous. Yes, Sherwood?
Carnivorous?
Yeah, that's right. What is the area of the large trapezoid if its altitude is 3?
Three.
Anybody?
3.
No, 24. Frederick Douglass had to mortgage his home to support what newspaper in which he continued, Parkdale?
The North Star.
Yeah, you're right. Van Room. Make room to rearrange the letters here, and you'll name what last Russian royal dynasty? Sherwood.
Romanov.
Correct. The famous naval battle between the USS Constitution and the Guerriere occurred during what early 18th? Yes, Sherwood.
War of 1812.
The War of 1812 is right. This is artist Hamilton Field's view of what large waterfall? Sherwood.
Niagara Falls.
And Niagara Falls is right, and that does it for the Picture Perfect round. Let's check these scores. Sherwood, 350 points. Parkdale, 250 points. And Lake Braddock, 210 points. Let's hear it. Okay, now I have a question for you out there. Ready? What enzyme with 267 amino acids has a 1,013-letter name? This is what it's called for short, by the way. And we will have that answer for you after we meet the coaches. And we begin with Sherwood High School. Catherine, who's with you?
So we have our coaches, Mr. King and Mr. Allen, and we'd like to thank them so much for all of the practices that they do with us to get us where we are. And we'd also like to thank Kenzie, our alternate in the audience, for being here to support us today, as well as the family and friends who have come to cheer us on.
Beautiful. Well, it's really good to have all of you guys here. Over to Parkdale. And Rosa, who's standing behind you?
Behind us, we have our wonderful coach, Mr. Demet, and we'd like to thank him for staying late despite his daughter being in aftercare still. And for our practices. And we would also like to thank our lovely alternate in the crowd, Chantel, and all the family and friends out there too.
All right, nice. To Lake Braddock. Ben, who's behind you?
We'd like to thank our coach, Mr. Holtzman, who holds practices for us each week. We'd also like to thank our wonderful principal, Miss Kearns, for showing up today. We'd also like to thank our alternate, Lucas, in the audience. And lastly, we'd like to thank our families and friends who came to watch us.
Awesome. Really good to have all of you guys here. Thank you so much. And now I've got that answer about the enzyme with more than 1,000 letters in its name. This was a really awful question, guys. I'm so sorry, because the truth is I can't pronounce it. And if I could, it would take up too much on the screen for you to even know what it was. You have to look it up. That was so unfair, but there you have it. And with that, we begin the packet round. Sherwood, you will answer questions first from one of these packets. Parkdale, which packet should they answer questions from?
Packet number 3.
Packet number 3. If you get all the questions right, you know what's coming, don't you?
25-point bonus.
Yeah, that's it. Here we go. You'll want to be cautious if you visit the Albuquerque Museum that has the largest live collection of what snakes whose varieties include the diamondback.
Rattlesnake?
It's rattlesnake. Canada has both a House of Commons and a legislative body with what same name as our congressional body with 100 voting members?
Congress? Wait, 100.
Senate?
Yes.
Senate?
Yep, it's the Senate. Covering almost 1 million square miles, what large sea separates Europe from Africa?
Mediterranean. Mediterranean.
Mediterranean it is. Here's your science question. Temperature, barometric pressure, wind velocity. When a weatherman draws isobars from one point on a map to another, he's connecting places where which of these is the same?
Barometric pressure?
You're right. The UN General Assembly first met in 1946, 26 years after the opening of what earlier international peace organization that the U.S. did not join?
League of Nations.
You're correct again. The composer Verdi based one of his operas on what Shakespeare tragedy about a jealous Moor who kills his wife Desdemona?
No. Oh, maybe Twelfth Night?
Nah, Othello. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression.
10.
10, yeah. That was fast. If you don't want to use the Army, I should like to borrow it. This is what an exasperated Abraham Lincoln said to what Civil War general known as Little Mac?
McClellan.
McClellan is right. Good job, Sherwood. 490 points. Parkdale, your turn to play. Lake Braddock, 1 or 2?
2.
2. After Alexander the Great died, his corpse was preserved in a large jar filled with what sweet substance created by bees?
Honey.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? People had a lot to say about one of the world's first talking dolls, which was created by what American inventor, better known for his incandescent light bulb?
Edison?
It's Edison, New Jersey's own. Some congressmen protested the $275,000 appropriation that allowed Captain John Erickson to build what Civil War ironclad ship that fought the Merrimack? The answer is?
Submarine?
No, but not Monitor. It's called the USS Monitor.
Okay.
The Battle of the Monitor and the Merrimack. Here's your science question. Citric acid, lactic acid, acetic acid. Which one of these acids would most likely be found in sour milk?
Lactic acid?
Lactic acid it is. 18 U.S. presidents served in office during the long reign of what 19th century British queen?
Victoria?
Victoria it is. Among the lords of literature is the lord in the title of what William Golding novel about a group of boys stranded on an island after a plane wreck?
Lord of the Flies?
Yeah, what a horrifying book that was, right? Terrible. Okay, here's your math question. If lines AB and CD are parallel, how many degrees are there in angle X?
60?
Yes. The Galapagos Islands were first visited in 1535 by a Catholic priest on his way to Peru to settle a dispute involving what Spanish conqueror of the Incas? The answer is Pizarro. Nice job, Parkdale. 370 points. Now, packet number 1 for Lake Braddock. Researchers say that if you've recently eaten bananas, you are more likely to attract what insects, some of which cause malaria?
Mosquitoes?
Mosquitoes, yeah. Don't eat bananas if it's summertime outside. The Shock of the Century is the subtitle of a book about what first artificial satellite launched by the Russians in 1957.
Sputnik?
Sputnik it is. Quasimodo is the hunchback hero in Victor Hugo's novel, whose title names what great Paris cathedral?
Notre Dame?
Yes, here's your science question. Copper, water, carbon. Of these 3 substances, which one is not usually formed when the compound cupric oxide is reduced by hydrogen? Go for it.
Carbon.
Answer? Yeah, carbon. Once a bishop in what is now Algeria, a 4th century Catholic saint gave his name to what Florida city, the oldest in the United States?
St. Augustine?
You're right. In 1825, rumors flew concerning a romance between American author Washington Irving and what British woman who had written Frankenstein?
Mary Shelley?
Mary Shelley's right. Here's your math question. Solve this pair of equations for x.
2, x equals 2.
X equals 2.
X equals 2. What American naval hero of the Revolutionary War lost his own ship, but captured the British ship Serapis in 1779?
Lafayette.
Nah, John Paul Jones, but you did a good job. Lake Braddock, 350 points. That does it for the packet round. The grab bag round is next. Stay with us.
You know that in the Bahamas, there's an island only inhabited by pigs? Tourists can visit, but they can't stay. Only pigs can. They like to relax by swimming in the ocean. And of course, they don't wear swimsuits. Now you know.
We've reached the grab bag round, which is so exciting because really anything can happen. Guys, questions are worth 20 points. Up or down, first team to buzz in gets to answer. Are you ready?
Yep. Yes.
All right, here we go. Hundreds of students belong to a squirrel feeding club at what state university located in Ann Arbor? Yep, Braddock.
Michigan.
That's right. Choice. If you burn hydrogen in air, which of these is the primary substance that's formed? Carbon dioxide? Braddock?
H2O, water.
That's right, water. Good job. One of the most famous letters in America was the letter Dr. Martin...
From Birmingham, Alabama.
That you are right. Nicely done. On your screens, guys. The St. Lucia flag depicts a black triangle, representing what kind of explosive geologic phenomenon such as, Sherwood?
Volcano.
Volcano it is. Astronauts from Apollo 12, the second mission to land humans on the moon, found part of an unmanned space probe with what name? That of George Washington's early profession. Yep, Braddock. Answer. 3, 2, 1. Surveyor. There are over 1 million references on Google to what Dostoevsky novel about a murderer named, yes, Sherwood?
Crime and Punishment.
You've got it. If a line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is 18 inches, what's the length of the third side of the triangle? Sherwood's like, I'm not even going to go close to that buzzer. The answer is 36. On your screens. A fight between two bald men over a comb. An Argentine author made this remark regarding what islands, the subject of a 1982 Braddock?
Galapagos. Oh, no, Falklands.
You said Falklands first, Asher, right?
First.
Okay, very good. Good job. The Roman Emperor Claudius was supposedly the last man to have understood the language of...
Latin.
No, Etruscans, what pre-Roman peoples. President Garfield's son James later became an advisor to President Theodore Roosevelt and served as secretary of what cabinet department that's in charge? Braddock?
State.
Nope, Interior of our parks, in charge of our national parks. Choice. Which one of these types of nuclear emissions is most easily stopped by air? Alpha particles, high-energy neutrons, or gamma rays? Yes, Braddock.
Alpha particles?
Yes, you're right. On your screens, guys. This area is part of what South American penal colony where Captain Alfred Dreyfus was wrongfully imprisoned? The answer is Devil's Island. What legendary Greek slave won the undying gratitude of a lion by removing a thorn from its paw? Yep, Parkdale.
Spartacus?
No, Androcles. The loud warning signal sounded by fire engines has what same name as the mythical women who tried to lure Parkdale?
Sirens?
Yeah, you've got it. If the sum of the lengths of the edges of a cube is 60 inches, what's the volume of the cube in cubic inches? And everybody's like, I'm so happy that was the buzzer. That does it for the grab bag. Nice job. We'll tally up these scores and have the results for you in just a moment. As we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, here are some things you should know. George Washington was an enthusiastic animal lover and had over 50 dogs with names like Sweet Lips, Drunkard, Tipsy, and Vulcan. Learn more about America's founding. Stream The American Revolution, a new documentary from Ken Burns, premiering November 16th on WETA Plus, a brand new, free, and easy-to-use streaming service created specifically for D.C. area viewers like you. For more information, go to WETA.org/WETA Plus. The scores are now official. We begin with Parkdale High School, home of the Panthers from Prince George's County. Isatu, Rosa, and Lorenzo, 370 points. From Lake Braddock High School in Fairfax County, Asher Ben Jacob, 390 points. And the guys who raked in the points, Sherwood, home of the Warriors from Montgomery County, Zeev, Catherine, Natty, 530 points. Nicely done. We are so happy you are here to celebrate these fine students and hopefully get some questions right. See you next time. I'm Hillary Howard. Remember, everybody, it's academic. Bye-bye. See ya.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University, all together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.